today. From FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, it's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Washington football team taking on the Miami Dolphins.
It's a pretty frigid December day in our nation's capital. We got our space heaters on full blast up in the booth at FedEx Field. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Washington football team. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdowns. Passes. There have not been too many defenses have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Ward. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And got his man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One-play drive and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out comes the Washington offense as they get their first shot. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. That result, really no surprise. That's what we're coming accustomed to with this #1 ranked rush defense.
And you study the game. Is this bringing back a few memories? Maybe the '85 Bears trying to move the ball against the 2000 Ravens? Heck, how about the late 60s, early 70s Purple People Eaters, the Minnesota Vikings? Hard to move the ball against those types of teams. That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. Third down conversion here's big. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On the handoff, Edwards, and he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because those defensive ends are like in a sprinter stance. They're just heading straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 18. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Ward. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. 81 yards. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll drop to throw. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. A swing pass here to Edwards. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up a third down. They'll look to throw again. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
Washington going to send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fielded just inside the 30. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed? And
this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
On second down, it's Edwards. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off near the 44. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
A try here for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. And the Washington offense going back to work.
And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah.
Here's 2nd and 8.
And Matthews makes the ground. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Well, you're down.
Back in the game, maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
He's going to air one out, and that is incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw. He finds his man Johnson. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. To the right side, this is Edwards. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 34-yard line.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He gets this one to Johnson. A gain of 6 there on first.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
2nd and 4. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 2nd down now, it's Edwards. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. That 2nd down run a big help. The 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. They'll look to throw here. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And his kick is good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great play there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just 1 shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try to put some points on the board.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Ward now. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught at the 2. Touchdown! A great effort there. 42 yards. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives. Touchdowns, and they've got a nice healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just
now,
said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Johnson's got it complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. From the gun, they go to Edwards. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Washington going to send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Taken in at the 22. And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, a rested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about.
A contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. It's a big play there for Miami.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked out officially at the 21. Well, here we go on the next drive for Washington.
And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
2nd and 8 coming up.
They'll look to throw. Complete. It's Johnson.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On 1st down, Edwards.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again.
Washington on 3rd down.
They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and a mile. Hit as fires. He throws there, incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Washington going to send out their punter
as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking it about the 16.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt.
And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run. So this game,
and got his man complete. Touchdown, Dolphins. A big play there. 72 yards. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. The Washington offense set to take over again.
And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
2nd and 10.
Out of the gun, they give to Edwards. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Washington going to send out their punter
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It's taken to the 26. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10.
Miami set to take over.
And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off at the 38.
So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
He'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who could turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And his kick here is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And this is potentially a nervy situation this close to their own goal line.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
That would almost intercept it, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll throw again from their own end zone. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man complete. The 20. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the 3rd quarter?
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. The Jets will need to run the table and get help to be a playoff team, but they remain alive as they move to 5-8 on the year. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Seahawks. The Colts seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. The Lions trying to hold on and claim victory. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now back to throw. Setting up the screen here to Edwards. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. Well, partner, this offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this squad and the 1985 Bears. You know, they too were 12-0 at this juncture of the season before losing on a Monday night 38-24 to the Dolphins at the Orange Bowl way back on December 2nd of 85. But then they never lose again en route to winning Super Bowl 20.
And when you look back on it, partner, didn't it almost feel like a setup game? Because they were playing the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were protecting their franchise's undefeated season of 1972, that team. And you know what that team does. They love to celebrate the fact that they still are the only one to get through an entire NFL season that way. That was Dan Marino's third year, playing under the great Don Shula, and they were motivated to keep that franchise's record intact.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. First carry, he loses the football. And does Washington have it? They do. Well, he's not. The starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready, and above all, when you get into the game.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And to give this time to the tailback. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. This offense, #1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there, with touchdown #2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them in plus territory. Excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 36. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. And he'll give it here to his running back. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Let's go now. 60 Bison, 60 Bison. He's coming. Double up, double up. Smash, smash. Check, check.
On 2nd down, it's Stevens. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. And
give this time to the tailback. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. In lieu of the sneak on 4th and inches, they just say, give it to the big man in the backfield.
Yeah, fullback no less. Not many of those left in the NFL, but for those that have one, perfect time to use them, perfect time to get it done.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's able to take the...
How much does this little motherfucker weigh? 29. Strength, 65. 70. $240.
This one up to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. looking to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback. That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain. Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
2nd and 5. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down.
Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Slam.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Switch.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Finding some room at midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47.
Hey, watch that. Rush in.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
You don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
Going to give this time to the tailback. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
Hey, pick your game up. Bring it. Twist. Watch the twist. He's crashing. He's checking crowd. Out.
Now a handoff here to his running back.
43 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. They run the counter. Turner. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Trying to lay one up deep, and he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Taken from just outside the 30. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he's been magnificent as we start to roll on all these touchdown passes he's had so far. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They run the counter now on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming. Up.
Check. Check hot route. Hot.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Y'all playing the wrong football. 49, check 49, check 49. Shift.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 66 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Keep it up, guys. Check safety. Check 26, check 26.
They run the counter. It's Turner, and he will be brought down, but a 1st and goal coming up as we have come upon the 2-minute warning. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And
the Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now he dumps this off over the middle. It'll be a gain of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. A tackle almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Washington going to send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. This is taken at the 15. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Miami, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers.
Meanwhile, for Washington,
you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8-5. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.